for you guys this weekend. Everybody having as much fun as I am? I'm going to have to warm you guys up. We're going to go ahead and bring these two guys out. Everybody excited to see them? All right, let's bring them out. Nolan North and Troy Baker.
Back there, there's like time, like, so then, okay. And it's a longer walk. Yeah,
it was an uncharted path.
Oh, I see what you...
See, there we go.
Never heard of it. And you
usually I have to come up with the dumb jokes. This one...
Oh, no, this will be
all stuff now. So, we're going to take questions from you guys. We got microphones right here and right here. Go ahead and start lining up. I've only got a couple for them, and then we're going to just turn it right over to you.
I have a question for them.
Okay, let's start.
Why are you here at 11 a.m. on a Saturday?
I don't know!
Who actually was here last night for something else and then just passed out in the chairs and nobody bothered to move you? Just like, let's turn it right down. There you go. Smile. Yeah! He has to do that every 24 hours for a life.
Children under 12 front two rows.
How far is that? Anyway, you have questions?
No, one of the beautiful things about this is all these people out here love you guys for all kinds of different things that you've done. Fans of different cartoons, games, that kind of thing. What were you guys fans of when you were kids? What were you really into? What was your fandom? What was your obsession? What were you into?
Wow. It varies. It changes probably the same way with you guys throughout the years. For me, at least, like one of the big things that kind of propelled me into me wanting to do this for a living was Batman the Animated Series. And I grew up and I watched cartoons, and I remember the day that Mel Blanc died, and that was the first time that I really associated, like, oh yeah, Mel Blanc does voices. But Batman the Animated Series was the first time I ever sought out, as like, who plays Batman? Kevin Conroy. Who plays the Joker? That's Clark Kent. I'm not a Star Wars guy. It's weird, they're the same name. But that was the first time that I ever associated. There's a person whose job was to go into a studio and to do this. And I actually drove past, first time I went to Disney World, I drove past the Disney building that's right off campus of Disney World, and I went, one day, I'm going to work there. And I thought that's where they made the cartoons. What about you? Gil Designer, next.
No, Star Wars. Star Wars is, I just had the big 40th anniversary, and I remember the theater in New England where I grew up, where we went to see the movie, and the next day, my brother and I going back again, and then I think the next day, I think my grandmother take me, and then we went right to the toy store, and I started getting the figures, and I would take, like, especially Empire Strikes Back, I would get those white sheets from our house, and I'd cover all the furniture, and now it's hot. The only thing that now I have kids of my own, and the only thing that really upsets me is they never made the cool at walker. They had just, I had the one that had the Planet Hobbs with a cardboard cutout. Anybody remembers that? Now they have the real ones that, look, it moves. I'm like, I just want to melt them. Yeah, so yeah, I was big into Star Wars.
Now, you got to do a little cameo on a recent Star Trek movie. Do I have that right?
Yeah. J.J. Abrams was a big fan of the Uncharted series, and I was doing another job, Super 8. I was doing some extra dialogue work on that. And somebody, and I did a couple of, like, if you've ever seen Super 8, the bus flips over, and the creature's outside trying to get them, and at one point, the door rips off, and the driver looks up, and the bus is on its side, and he goes, ah! And he gets stressed. That's me. Because the guy apparently couldn't scream well on camera. And somebody in the session, one of my friends said, hey, easy on the voice, you're going to ruin all that Uncharted money you got going. And the director, who was directing the session, he goes, what do you mean, Uncharted? And he said, oh, Nolan's Nathan Drake in Uncharted. And he said, what does he mean you're Nathan Drake in Uncharted? I'm like, what is this clown? To this game, he goes, oh, I'm a huge fan. I'm like, oh, hey, great. And I sat down, and my buddy looks at me and goes, why are you being an asshole? I'm like, "Why are you being an asshole?" He goes, that's J.J. Abrams. What? And then I was like, and I played off like, J.J. We ended up calling his son, and at the end of the day, he just said, no, you know what? I said, I owe you one, I owe you one. He said, well, throw me in the next Star Trek. Well, he goes, you want to do it? Yeah, let's do it. And that was as simple as 2 weeks to say, power coming online, sir. That's it. He just got it.
I want to add one thing to that story, though, that I think is really important. You weren't originally going to go do that Super 8 session.
No, I wasn't.
You're like, I don't really want to do that. It's not glamorous work when you do backfill ADR stuff for movies like that. You just sit around, it's like 6 of you in there, and you just trade turns screaming. And it's not glamorous, it's not really rewarding. But it can be fun sometimes, but
Yeah, that's true.
it's kind of like extras work. So someone said, you want to go do this? And you're like, no.
The only reason I went because my agent had put together the session, and they needed 6 people, and it was late on a Friday or something, and they were all 5 of them, good friends of mine. And they said, come on, Bob is going to be there, everybody's going to come up. Why not go down? And it was, yeah.
And then like everything else.
Which also led to, I had a cigar on set for Peter Weller. I was like, they don't want this. Okay. And it was cool because every time you had to go to the bathroom, you had to leave. Here's the cool thing people don't know. Okay, a sound stage might be as big as this room. Okay, maybe taller, certainly, but as big as this room. They built a spaceship. For anybody who's ever played make-believe, I had a clubhouse when I was a kid. That could be a pirate ship. That could be a spaceship. Could be anything. They built it. There was a panel that I stood in front of, and Peter Wellish to my left on the Vengeance, and JJ walked up. We're here. Just don't look at your watch. and JJ walked up and he goes, "You having fun?" I said, "Yes." I can't believe nobody's ever going to see this board. This must have cost more than to get this here than it cost me. He goes, "Oh, that costs a lot more than you." Very cool. It's a really good perspective.
Now, you guys have played so many franchise characters that so many people are fans of, that the two of you are probably fans of in some combination or another, whether from your Batman animated series love or comic books or something like that. Are there any of these parts that you get emails from the agent and they're like, hey, guess what? You've been booked to play Batman. This Robin, this other Robin, this yet other Robin. Any of that kind of thing?
Well, you're the franchise guy. I'm one. You had Assassin's Creed, you had Uncharted,
Keep going.
your career. But you're the guy that you do the multiple iterations. I do the one and dones. Last of Us 2 is an exception because I'm coming back. His character is what I said. Everyone's like, did you hear it? Confirmed it. But I'm not really the franchise guy. I get to come in and I got to do one Batman game as the Joker, which was awesome. I was like, if they ever come back to do it again, yes. But oddly enough, when I got, that wasn't really a call that my agent got, you booked the Joker. I had a meeting down in San Diego during Comic-Con, and the creative director, or one of the writers on it, was like, I want to let you know that you're about to get offered this part. And I went, he's telling me it's Batman. He's like, no, of course not. Literally the movement happened.
I was there. It's all loose.
There's absolutely no way. There's no way I want to do that. I'm on, my trajectory is kind of good right now. That's how you do really, if you mess that up, you're done. And so I turned it down. And then they called again. It was like, we're offering you this role. I'm like, no, turned it down. Twice. Then the vice president of ED Games called me into his office. Like, I've been called into a principal's office since high school. And I was like, hey man, he goes, sit down. And he plays my audition that they had videoed, and he looked at it, he goes, that's really good. I'm like, thank you man, I appreciate it. He goes, no, we think it's really good. Who cares what you think? Why don't you get over yourself? We're really smart, and we've been doing this for a long time. If we think this is good, shut up and trust us. I'm like, and I'm super grateful, but I at first was so filled with my own pride and ego that I rejected that opportunity. So humility is good. You want to be a humble person, but that false humility, which no. I always equate things to music. And people would come up to me after a show and go, that was a great show. And if I thought I did bad, like, no man, the sound was terrible, I hated the way this played. And I would see the look on the person's face like, I thought it was great. I thought you were good. Your opinion of yourself is never more important than somebody else's. Unless they're telling you that you're a piece of shit. But
North was cursing in front of children. No, I have to stop. No cursing. Don't do what I do. I don't do that. We didn't do black speech, remember? Huh? You had to do black speech. Let's get the questions, man. Okay. Before we turn it over to you guys. Not that you believe everything that you read on the internet, but did you audition for Mickey Mouse? Yeah. What was that process like? Because when I heard Nolan North audition for Mickey Mouse, I had trouble imagining it.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. The idea that I would be doing that for kids. Yeah, there was about 11 auditions. What happened is John Fiedler, who was Piglet for many, many years, passed away. And Disney decided that these are iconic characters and they wanted to have, just backups, which kind of didn't go over well in the industry. And a lot of people were like, no, I don't really, we do that. We don't want that. Weird. But I know that Wayne Allwine, who's been Mickey for years, he's not been feeling well. They just had some people, so they just had us in. And my agent, I've had my agent actually call. She knows. The great thing about, I don't know if everyone knows this, but Mickey and Minnie, Wayne Allwine and Brucey Taylor, married for 25 years. I mean, they've been married for, so sweet. But my agent knew them very, very well. So I said, I'll go audition if Wayne's okay with it. But I want him to be aware, because I'm not that guy. And she did. He said, it's fine. He didn't like it. He said, I don't plan on giving it up. But I kind of was hoping that it would be kind of a mentorship, maybe, as when he wanted to step away at some point. Could have been 10, 20, 30 years. I didn't care. But yeah, so I went in and did it. He did. I mean, had to sing, and it was. Oh boy, let's go! No, I did it, and then And I was told it was going to be the backup, and then something happened at Disney. I think it was Bob Iger wanted. Mickey had always been from within the Disney family. And Wayne was an animator, and so they come up. So they found someone within Disney, cousin of a cousin of a cousin or something that they probably didn't have to pay as much. I guess the guy's doing a great job. So, but it was okay because when you are locked down to a character like that, you are really limited to. They like you're on speed dial.
We have an alarm clock for you to record, sir.
Yeah.
There's an ethical clause too.
Oh, was there?
Oh, well then I wouldn't have done it. You can no longer do any of these things.
Yeah, no, and the great thing about, I think, we both probably suffer from some form of ADD, and the great thing about doing what we do is we get to play. What?
Lights.
Sorry, what was the question? No, but the great thing is you get to play multiple characters. So you can be anybody, anything, any race, anything, and that's just so much more fun than just, unless it's a car campaign, because you are loaded.
Start right over here.
It's an absolute honor to meet both of you. Huge fan of Uncharted, huge fan of The Last of Us. And like you said, it's so important to make believe. And I was wondering if you could help me create a scenario in which Nathan Drake is hoping to call Sully, but accidentally calls Joel on the phone.
Hey guys, did you know you're showing up to an improv gig?
Every day's a bro.
Taking a phone call in front of all these people.
Sully, Sully, listen, I can't find Elena and Chloe's over here. I'm sure what to do, so I don't know who found anything. You're quiet, what's going on?
I'm not sure if you're aware of this or not, but everybody's dead.
Hi guys, my name is Jack. I'm so sorry. I'm a huge fan of y'all. Alright, so this one's mostly for Nolan more, but for Destiny 2. Alright. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Destiny 2.
Eyes up, Destiny 2.
Get it out.
Well, the girls have a major role because in Destiny 1, all we did was just spout it like, this is the following. This is the high. This is the right for this one. Well, we have a more important role other than just spout information.
Well, that's the Ghost's first function is that character is to give the player, information. Now, you're probably a high-level player, you've done play, but give people a break, man. Some people are starting out.
They need their ghost to tell them where to go. That's the call.
Yeah, Destiny 2 is, I just did 3 more sessions this week before I came down here. And, oh man, it's good. It's really good. I mean, it's, there's plenty of information, but there's a, yes. You're really good. Over here.
Thank you.
I am a big fan, probably like most of everyone here. Just putting that out there.
You know what we can get, but we don't. We appreciate it.
What's someone go?
I want one guy in the middle to get up and go. I don't know the answer.
Guys, I really want you to convert me today. I really want you to make me a huge fan today.
I just wanted to know was there any work that you did or any lines that you did that didn't make the final cut and you really wanted them in there?
Of what?
Any either voice acting or anything that you ever did?
Buddy, I got volumes.
Tell us, we want to know.
Oh my God, no, what? Oh no, he'll answer for me, because, they would take my children.
Typically legal gets involved.
My children.
We can't have him say that. We can't. We'll get sued. You're being silent, but He's being serious, but I'm serious.
These men are fearing for their lives.
This is not manufactured. I love making people uncomfortable that I work for. They're like, especially when you get an exec to laugh, go, oh God, we're gonna get sued for that. The first time that he and I were ever actually on a job together at the same time was for a Transformers game. And they thought it'd be brilliant to finally put Troy Baker and Nolan North in the same booth together and just roll cameras and see what happens. Oh, wow. I think we, like, collectively got out of the booth and destroyed both the tape and the cameras. Just in case. Because it became the most morally debased, vain thing that ever, and I'm like, we single-handedly, it's like Mark Wahlberg did his best to destroy Transformers, we succeeded. Optimus Prime did in the session was just all the walks. Oh yeah. If it didn't make the cut, A, there's a reason, and B, you're welcome. Everybody's childhood.
And going back to an earlier question,
And that's why I'm not
There's that.
Thank you.
Hi. Hello. This question is for Troy. When you were doing Ocelot in Metal Gear Solid, what was it like? Because it's a character that's been around for so long with other people. What was it like?
Well, it was awesome, first of all. And being a fan of Metal Gear, and watching that game evolve into what it was, which is, to me, Kojima has been a person who's just constantly progressed that medium, and been like a Sergio Leone filmmaker-esque kind of, and really, if you look at Metal Gear, it's very much the man with no name kind of thing. It's a spaghetti western set as a shooter, and anyway. But there's always an onslaught, you know, with the exception of one, but we gotta make the candidate. So I love having this kind of character play to where you really can't screw it too much, but because of what Patrick Zerman did for that role, that was kind of like the template that I had to look forward to. And so we kind of kept him in that vein. It was cool to kind of do something that was within canon, but was something that was really different. It was a different kind of onslaught. It was a really hard process, and I really have to give major props to everybody who worked on that, especially Keeper, because Keeper walked in and thought it was just going to be a voiceover role, and it ended up being like, they started putting dots on his face. He's like, hold on a second. And so it became, because they had already done the vocab in Japan, and we were matching to that, and then we couldn't move any more than this. You could move your head left or right. It was a thing. It was a really, technically, it was a very hard process. And so I feel he crushed it this thing. I think he did a great job. David Hayter is nobody ever owns a character. Let me just say that. David Hayter's been this thing that we've loved. Even though the short answer to your question was it was awesome. It was awesome. That's a really auspicious character to be able to play. So thank you, Preston. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Who would win in a fist fight, Nathan Drake or Joe from Last of Us?
Everybody, unanimously. Radrad's gonna win. Show of hands, Joel. All right, show of hands, Drake.
Oh, shit.
He's younger. He's younger.
He's
He
younger.
has given up on life.
I'll tell you a better question too, and David can
No.
I want not
funny though, I could bring David back in like multiplayer form with a hat where he runs around with the machete in his head. He's like, I'm gonna help everyone. He just like, he's like, he's kind of lobotomized with the machete. I'm your friend now, Ellie. Ooh, he helps you look for things. I'm a dick. They said no.
Over here.
My mom is just as into Uncharted as I am, so I was wondering how, like, she watched me play, she started her own file, so I was wondering how you guys feel about the sort of cross-generational audience that Uncharted has attracted.
It's actually one of the coolest things I get to witness when I come, meet fans, not just the, it's worldwide too. I mean, we were in London and everywhere. I was just in Australia recently. And yeah, it's dads and their sons, dads and their daughters, moms and their sons, it's so cool. I've had grandparents that play. Somebody actually, I don't know, might have been Dallas, told me that their grandfather plays Destiny. And he's in England somewhere. And he became a really good Destiny player. And he played online because they don't get to see them very much. But he plays with his grandkids. And yeah, and it's really, really cool. And I hear these stories a lot. So one thing I think, there used to be a stigma on games years and years ago, like, oh, you're doing it too much. But it is one of those things that's bringing people together when they can't. When there's distance or something like that. That doesn't mean don't go outside every now and then. But when you have that, one of my favorite stories is a friend of ours, Steve Bloom, told me we do the Call of Duty Zombies together. And he had been talking to some military people, and the guy was saying, man, you and Dr. Richter, you save the lives, man. He goes, yeah, right, you guys are. He goes, no, you don't understand. We were out in Afghanistan in firefights. We come back, and we'll put that on just to decompress. I know what you're thinking, right?
We just sit here and watch this. Like you said, I've known more parents, more young parents that have really been able to connect with their kids and have understood, have this new appreciation. They'll never play, but they'll sit and watch, and it's something they can now do with their kids. So if this is your first time to one of these shows, if you're still trying to find a way to connect with your kid who's just a spazoid right now because they're a teenager and they just really love these video game things, sit down with them. Just for a little bit and watch. You won't be bored. You may not like it, you may hate it, but you won't be bored. You'll have a really cool way to connect with your kid. So, there you go. And that's one to grow. And now you know.
This is why we like to
Thanks, Shadow.
Thanks, Pastor Troy.
Yeah.
I feel better about that. I want y'all to get out there and connect with your children. Hold them close. And then let them go like a little baby bird. That was me doing you.
If you fly off, just go ahead and take that shotgun and just go ahead. Another one. Go. Happy Saturday. What?
Right over here.
Yeah.
How's it going? Quick shout out to Ocelot and Ninja Turtles. The Ninja Turtles is my fave. And all of the Raph, Leo, and all the extra characters. Anyway, both of you, is there a favorite character that you've had that you haven't gotten a chance to play yet?
Who is there? Tony the Toy Box you haven't gotten to play with yet?
Those are two different questions, aren't they?
I should have known better to bring metaphors into this.
I get this question a lot. I don't really covet anybody else's role. Because the great thing about it is, like, as much as it pains me to say this, I'm a fan of his. You know? So, like, I you know, and Steve Bloom and those guys, and I one of the nicest things is when you tell somebody, yeah, I got this role, they go, oh, I read for that, what'd you do? And you, oh, that, and so you don't really, you know, I mean, I can't imagine doing Joel. It's like, I mean, could I have done it? Well, yeah, but now Joel sounds like that, and that's it. That's it for me. That's who he is, you know.
Or maybe a voiceless character that hasn't been...
Well, they don't hire me for voiceless characters.
No, I mean like somebody who hasn't been in animation yet or anything like that.
Train 2, the sequel.
Or maybe a different version.
Okay, hold on. Let me answer. I want to play a blind person. Really, really bad. I know that sounds really stupid, but that's a character that I always... Well, okay, you see... Man, for so long. Like, there was a Batman graphic novel was the first one that I bought, and Daredevil was the first franchise that I ever, like, really, really delved into. So I wanted to play Daredevil so bad. And then they cast Charlie Cox. And I went, what are you doing? You either have blonde hair or red hair. Black hair. But then I watched the show, and I can't imagine anybody else but Charlie doing that role, because he crushed it, and he showed me a new dimension. He made up with Ben Affleck. He just showed me a new character. So I mean, I let that one go, and he's doing a fantastic job. But no, I really want to play. I want to play. I've always wanted to play someone who's blind, and kind of in some way cathartically feel how that is to see this world without being able to visually see it. And there's actually an article that was out about blind gamers and how there's a lot of people that are really trying to petition developers to start making games that are more geared towards the sightless. And yeah, I mean, I think that is an amazing way. The thing is, that we forget about a lot is that there are a lot of auditory elements in playing a game. There's other things besides just the visuals. So I would love to be able to participate in that. Your answer, Nolan.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really don't have any. I don't know. I've played every character.
I mean, you wouldn't turn down a part in Star Wars.
Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle then? How about that?
Raphael, come on.
I mean, you know, if your buddy JJ maybe made a phone call to somebody at Lucasfilm and said, hey, maybe we have a Nolan-shaped hole in episode 9.
Nolan-shaped what?
Again, metaphors. I shouldn't be using that on stage.
Jabba's descendant.
I want to be that little thing that was on like. I just want to scamper across the ceiling.
Over here.
Hey, I was wondering if you guys think Nathan is going to buy a PS4 or PS4 Pro for Elena and Cassie. That way they can play the upcoming Crash Bandicoot remaster.
Naughty Dog employee right there.
Yeah, the Drake family is Xbox. Yeah, one for every room like that. Family over there.
Yes?
My question is for Boyd Baker. Yep. What did it feel like getting pranked by Travis Willingham?
Terrifying.
Travis is a big cat.
Everybody know what he's talking about?
Yep.
There's never been, nor will there ever be, a more elaborate nor more appropriate bachelor prank than what Travis Willingham did to me. The long and short of it is this. We went into a session that was a fake session. I thought it was real. There were 3 other people in there. They all knew that it was fake. We were in the middle of the session, and all of a sudden, fully armed, fully geared up ATF agents stormed in, put us down on the deck, bagged and tagged us, like head over, zip tied, threw me into the back of a van, drove me around. I'm thinking to myself, there's 99% of my body is going, this can't be real. But then there's that 1% that is freaking out because we've suspended habeas corpus, and I'm in the back of like a black site CIA van. So they take me out there like, what's your name? And I don't say anything. He's like, all right, let's take, and then I have like headphones on, everything. Take the headphones on, what's your name? I was like, Troy. Give me one more. Troy what? Baker. So do you have any reason why, do you know why you're being detained today? I was like, no. And they, I mean, this was like a full-on like 30, 45-minute thing. Like this was a thing. Travis had spent weeks preparing this and actually had full LAPD in on this, everything, weapons, everything. I'm sitting here going, I think that I'm out in the middle of the desert. He pulls off the bag, and it's like that bright, whining light, and all of a sudden I see Travis's bug in my face, and welcome to your bachelor party, bitch. So to start a session, and my bachelor party was supposed to be the following weekend. So on this Friday, I'm like, so yeah, it's absolutely terrifying. And I told him, that's it, I'm done. He told Mark, can't take you anymore. So yeah, it was fantastic. I think somewhere it lives online, a little video that Travis did. You can find it, watch it. It's just hilarious to see me wet myself.
Hi, I have a question for both of you. Out of all the characters that you've ever voiced, was there ever a character that was very challenging to you that really pushed you to the limits as a voice actor, and why?
God, I hate giving serious answers. The last Mafia 3, I played one of the most despicable, racist characters with that big old charm and smile, and some of the things you had to say, you can, but we had to mocap some scenes, and there's scenes that I can't even discuss that were cut, but, you're working with other actors, and there's something on the page, but when you have to, it's, playing the hero characters or even the villains, that's one thing, but this is all based in fact. And things that had happened. It was set in 1967, and of course, the events, that world was real. But working with another actor, looking at another actor as you're doing this saying these horrible things, knowing that they've been said before, and in some places they continue to be said, and that actor's giving you the real reaction. And I mean, there are tears as you're about to murder someone. It was one of those, you don't realize, I'm just not one of those people like a method or anything like that, but when you get into it, when you play make-believe, like for real, there is something very interesting about how it plays out in your brain. And I remember just calling my wife later going, this is not this. And they did a really good job with that game, where they brought that realism and then, gameplay, but it was taxing, on your heart. It's just...
It was just gut-wrenching.
Yeah, and then when you're doing it, and then there's this one, I have to do one last the big speech that he does as he's rallying them up to go up there to find the main player. And because I'll connect with the people that are there. It was me alone, and they said, we'll clear out the stage. I'm like, no, bring everyone in. Because it just made me feel, and you just go to this dark thing, it's safe. And then later, whatever, it's no big deal. And you get your car, you're like, oh my God. It was messed up. And I called a couple of friends of mine, I told them about it. And Alan Tudor was a good buddy of mine, and he did 42.
he played that little despicable little manager. Jackie Robinson's on the back. And he just said the N-word. He said, my God, I said it like 157 times in a stadium of people. He said, I just wanted to crawl in a hole and bury myself. But, you know, that's what it's truth. And that's what acting is, when you're able to bring that to life. And with games, what we were talking before, they become sophisticated. And I actually asked one of my friends, and he said, you know, this is a part of our history that some younger people don't know about. He said, they will learn at the game, so it's important to do. So it was hard, but I think at the end of the day, it was something that, you know, it was important for not only our industry, but for education purposes as well. So, but it was not cool. It was not easy.
Not every day is easy in the booth. Round of applause for Nolan.
It's not just in the booth. I mean, there's days where it is just kind of in the safe spaces where you're just a microphone and you in a vacuum and you can just kind of be there. The difference between what you're talking about and a lot of, like you said, how games got so much more sophisticated in the process is you're on set, you're on a stage with 50 other people, and you're already in this incredibly unbecoming suit, and you're completely having to let go of all of your pride and your ego because you've got 32 dots on your face, you got a camera that's hanging out here, you wear a spandex suit with shiny disco balls on it, and you're having to really infuse yourself into this role. And that's like putting everything that you have out there online. It's not fun a lot of times. My answer to your question as far as the challenging roles, every role has its own challenges. Sometimes it's to not be bored with it because there's just some roles that are just kind of like you're there to facilitate a systemic thing. You're there to just be a purveyor of information. That's it. And you want to make it creative, but you can't. There's also challenges when you have roles like that where you're like, this on paper seems like a really cool opportunity and I get to stretch my acting legs a bit. You get in, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Then the stretch turns into a pull.
Yeah, that's great. Or you have to do a scene multiple times with your daughter dying. So those are not fun days. The reward and the benefit is found in the aftermath of it, but in that moment, it's just a suck. There's nothing, you don't walk away feeling, yes, I did good work today. Like you said, you want to crawl into a hole. Both of us called our wives after those hard days. I called my wife after that day of shooting hours on hours shooting that scene, or Sarah in Last of Us. And I called my wife, and she answered the phone, I just broke, and I was like, I need to come home. And I got into my car, I drove home, I went into my bed, and I didn't surface for the next 12 hours. I crashed, just put me down. We love our jobs. We love that we get to do stuff like that. But as much as it costs us in moments and scenes like that, you need to understand that, there's people up in Seattle right now that are crunching on a game that are spending 40, 50, 60, 70 hours this week making sure that the game that you play is the best possible experience that you can have. So while we may have 8 to 10 hours of suck, those people are going to have that 10 times over in 1 week. And it takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to put that disc on that shelf. So if you're a critic, cut a little bit of slack, because it's still magic that makes that game happen. It's still ones and zeros moving through space that somehow creates this game that we all love to play. But it's hard on us. It's hard making a game. It's hard making a film. It's hard making a show. It's really, really hard. And everybody that's doing it is simply doing it because we love when you go, yes, that's one of my favorite games. That's one of my favorite characters. That's one of my favorite scenes. Everyone's just trying to make your favorite thing.
And I think I can speak for everybody in this room when I say that you guys are a big part of what gives a lot of people cathartic experiences that they take with them for the rest of their lives, that rattle on through generations. Guys, I've got good news and bad news. Good news is that was an excellent question. The bad news is it was our last question and we're out of time. We ran a little bit over, but I don't think anybody minded, right? No. It's a good news sandwich. The best news is that these guys are here the rest of the weekend down at the tables in the autograph hall. You guys can get up there and get